For every one of 3 bites of food we take, we should give credit to insect pollinators, as CCC states on their 2019 webpage, Pollinators and CCC. Whether we notice it or not, pollinators play a major role in our lives. However, pollinator species such as bees have been decreasing the past several years, which leaves lasting effects on our food supply. It is our duty to support bees, and we can do so through small but impactful steps. Because pollinators play a major role in our food supply, we should take proper actions to protect them. Even if we were to take one simple step, such as growing more plants, we will be able to leave lasting benefits on the state of pollinator species. Before we look at any of the solutions to solving this problem, we'll look at some background information. There have been many recent major pollinator colony losses the past several years. The Bee Informed Partnership, on their 2019 article, Honeybee Colony Losses 2018-2019 Preliminary Results, states that during the 2018-2019 winter season, which ranges from October 1st, 2018 to April 1st, 2019, an estimated 37.7% of managed honeybee colonies in the United States were lost. The percentage of colonies lost this winter was 7% higher than last year, 8.9% higher compared to the 13-year average winter colony loss, and the highest overall reported number since the survey began in 2006 to 2007. This decline in pollinators affects pollination. The United States Forest Service states in their article, Why is Pollination Important?, that all of the world's seed plants need to be pollinated. CCC also reports that 90% of all wild plants and trees rely on pollinators for the survival of their species. We rely on pollinators to produce the crops we eat every day. The United States Forest Service reports that out of the 1,400 crop plants grown globally, such as those that produce all of our food and plant-based industrial products, almost 80% require pollination. They also go on to state that more than 150 food crops in the United States depend on pollinators, including almost all fruit and grain crops. Next, we will look at one solution to solving this problem, and that is through growing plants. Anybody can plant flowers. Matthew Shepard states in his 2019 article, Bring Back Pollinators During National Pollinator Week, that one pot of flowers, one strip of flowers along a fence, or one garden can make a big difference. In the Midwest, native plants are the best sources of nectar and pollen for native pollinators because they are adapted to local soils and climates, as stated by the Persuasive Society in their 2014 report, Pollinator Plants Midwest Region. This solution has been shown to solve this problem. The Persuasive Society also states that incorporating native wildflowers, shrubs, and trees into any landscape promotes local biodiversity of wildlife. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln hosts its own bee lab in pursuit of its mission to increase bee populations in Nebraska, as Troy Feddersen reports on in his 2018 article, Bee Lab Brews Up a Busy Summer. The Bee Lab team is leading a series of studies on how planting designs can better support pollinators. They are working with the Nebraska Department of Roads to design best practices for roadside plantings, outlining land management practices that promote healthy pollinator populations, and identifying flowering plants that grow well and provide benefits for bees, as Feddersen also states. This has become even more local. Since 2017, CCC has increased the amount of native plants across its campuses and centers through installation of pollinator gardens and native grass plantings, as CCC states on their website. Central Community College's Grand Island campus was named a Bee Campus USA on May 11, 2017 for its efforts. Bee campuses work to protect pollinators by raising awareness and educating or enhancing pollinator habitats. Lastly, we'll look at how a world with and without my solution will happen. A world without my solution will not help the problem. The Bee Informed Partnership released data from a report that showed that in the winter of 2016 to 2017, 56.72% of bee colonies were lost. Nebraska experienced the third highest amount of loss among the nation. In the winter of 2017 to 2018, only 14.41% of bee colonies were lost. This was the second lowest amount of loss in the nation. However, an increased number of states experienced more loss than the previous winter, which goes to show that this issue has become more widespread across the United States. A world that implements my solution would be better. The Xerces Society states that there are a wide variety of Midwest native plants and trees that can be planted throughout the year. They also state that choosing a variety of plants with overlapping and sequential bloom periods will provide food for pollinators throughout the season. In conclusion, because pollinators play a major role in our food supply, we should take proper actions to protecting them. Even through small, simple steps, such as growing more plants, we can leave lasting benefits on the state of the pollinator species. We should all take efforts to protect pollinators through growing plants in our own backyards, because if we don't, we will have to say goodbye to some of our favorite pollinator-produced foods. There is no plan B.